Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. As you all know, next year Cambodia will be having the honor to take the chairmanship of the ASEAN. And it is with great pleasure that I have on such a short notice a very distinguished personality who is nobody else but Dr. Surin Pitsuwan, who is the Secretary General of the ASEAN. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Siphana.
Yes. Well, you know, your visit to Cambodia with your whole ASEAN team here, your meeting with His Excellency, like Prime Minister yesterday, with the Foreign Ministry, really set a very strong message for the Cambodia foremost, that ASEAN is very keen to support Cambodia's chairmanship. Yes. But before we get to the substance, perhaps I'd like to give you a few minutes to maybe you tell a bit about your background to the audience.
Well, I am a Thai. I was born in southern Thailand, and I went to school at a Buddhist temple without shoes.
Without shoes.
Until I was 11,
yes.
My first pair of shoes. But then, through determination,
yes.
I got into Thammasat University. After 2 years, I got a scholarship to a small college in California. And after that, I got a scholarship to Harvard. I got a PhD from Harvard, and coming back to teach at Thammasat University for a few years, back to where I began, and there was general elections in 1986. And they asked me if I would join. I didn't give them the answers.
Yes.
But they made the announcement anyway. So I didn't make a decision to make a transition from academic life to political life.
Yes.
But events just pulled me into it, and ever since.
Destiny.
Then I became Deputy Foreign Minister, and I've been asked to come to take up this Secretary General's term, which belongs to Thailand.
Yes.
We rotate.
4 years ago, right?
4 years ago.
Yes, yes.
The term is 5 years.
Yes, yes.
Before me it was Singapore, now Thailand.
Yes.
Next would be a gentleman or a lady from Vietnam.
I see.
Yeah. So one round is 50 years.
One round is 50 years. Yes.
After Vietnam would be Brunei.
Yes, yes.
After Brunei, 10
so
years
your successor
will be
just
Cambodia.
got born.
Yes.
But tell me about ASEAN, the ASEAN Charter. Things are moving. We become, you know, the sort of like the area where different regions look up to in the light of the sort of like...
ASEAN was born 44 years ago in Bangkok on the 8th of August. It was just a vision, a dream among 5 foreign ministers, including Thanat Khoman in Thailand at that time. And they thought small countries in Southeast Asia would need a stage, a forum for ourselves, rather than having to compete with the heavyweights of the world, like Afro-Asia Conference, like the UN, and it was during the Cold War. So 5 of us got together and dream of a vision that we would become one small association.
And 40-some years later, you moved to institutionalize it. You become a charter.
Yes, the world has changed. We have remained together.
The charter?
And then competition. ASEAN was a loosely structured organization, regional organization, quite effective. But then because of the diversity among the membership, we could not quite carry on or deliver the commitments. It based on trust, based on words. The global community would like to see ASEAN more of being a rules-based organization. Contract with legal binding behind every agreement that we made. Just happened that the world was changing so fast, competition was so fierce, globalization was going full force. ASEAN, we have 600 million people. We have 10 different economies, 10 different governance systems. We decided to have a charter so that we can live together based on that charter.
Yes.
Now, the world is having more confidence in us.
Yes.
We behave more like legal contractual parties.
Yes.
Whatever I say, yes, put my signature on,
Yes.
I will
Binding.
deliver. It's binding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So ASEAN has gained tremendously from the confidence around the world that we are now putting our money, our efforts where our words are, and we are successful in managing our economies. We are growing faster than many areas of the world. We are in the middle of the new growth center of the world, East Asia. We are in between India and China, the two biggest emerging economies of the world. We are sitting pretty, and the whole world would like to come to us to be a part of this process. Centrality. ASEAN is enjoying that role, which is called centrality. And all the dialogue partners, all our neighbors, big neighbors, would rather give that role to ASEAN because between themselves, among themselves, they have problems. They have historical backgrounds. So they come to us, they feel comfortable. They can even
honest broker.
Well, yes. Small countries, medium-sized countries, but threatening none, welcoming all. They are all comfortable within us. So we are now, according to Mrs. Clinton, we are now the fulcrum of the emerging architectures of cooperation of the region.
At the Bali summit last month, that's testimony right there.
Very much so, America came, Russia came, and 6 former parties in the East Asia Summit, which is driven by ASEAN, created by ASEAN, but it includes Japan, China, Korea, India, Australia, New Zealand, now Russia and the US. ASEAN plus 8.
So we just need one more, which is the EU, right?
Well, they are certainly knocking on our door, but the problem is they are a collection of countries. They are not one sovereign state. But they will be signing on to our Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. Even that we have to make some amendment. Again, because they would come in as a bunch of 27.
Rather than one whole. Since the charter, have you, with that confidence in a rule-based organization, have you seen a dramatic change in terms of behavior?
Slowly.
Yes.
You have the right question.
Yes.
I mean, you don't change human behaviors or countries' behaviors just by the issuance, proclamation of a charter or a constitution. You have to go through a process of adaptation, of change. And that's what we are doing. We are trying to get member states to deliver. We try to persuade, we try to appeal, we try to warn. We are not going to dispute settlement mechanisms, which are there in the charter. But we say, it will be good for Cambodia, it will be good for Laos, if you just deliver this one, because we have committed it. The world is watching. Our people are watching. In the long term, in the long run, it will be beneficial to everyone, not only to the organization, but to the people of Laos, to the people of Cambodia. So we use persuasion, we use diplomacy.
Persuasion, diplomacy, it's great. But as a rule-based, don't you think that all the declaration, all the agreement that we sign eventually have to be translated? Of course, many countries have ratified many, but to me, I think the challenge perhaps is in the translating of this regional commitment into national policy action plan. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. We are learning from the EU now. How do you transcend, or how do you transmit regional agreements into national legislation, national implementation? Sometimes you say you ratify this agreement among ASEAN 10. But member states will have to implement, which will need, in many cases, enabling legislation, which will need reform and amendment of rules of regulations at the ministerial level, sometimes at the departmental level, and create process and institution and mechanisms to monitor.
And how is it coming along?
Coming along fine. Certainly it can go faster.
Yes, exactly.
But again, because of the diversity among us, we have all sorts of differences. among the 10. So we have to go, slowly, making sure that the slowest of the member can also come along. And that will take some flexibility, accommodation,
the development, the divide, whatsoever.
But ASEAN has certainly surprised the global community for what we have achieved, for what we are committed to achieve into the future, and all of them would like to learn from us, particularly in the economic integration, economic management, macro management among the 10, and the way in which we connect ourselves with the larger economies around us.
Speaking of economic, I think for me, I talk to a lot of people, of course, we heard a lot about ASEAN, but somehow the perception, at least I'm just speaking in my country, right, in Cambodia, that it's more an ASEAN diplomacy, right? I believe that at the end of the day, the diplomacy should prevail, of course, but then the main actor would have to be the private sector.
The private sector, the business community. You are right. We, the diplomats, the leaders, the ministers, can come up with rules and regulations that we think would enable business to move, to cross borders, to co-invest in each other, to create joint ventures easily. But the opportunities will have to be taken up by the private sector. And we would like to hear from them too.
Indeed.
Are these enough of the rules and of regulations of the space that we have opened up? Or do you want more? So economic community of ASEAN will not be a reality unless Cambodian SMEs would move into Thailand. Thai SMEs would move into Laos. Singaporean SME would move into Indonesia. Crisscrossing the borders. We bring the borders down. We bring the barriers down. 600 million consumers. $2 trillion GDP combined. Yes, a big market, and it's certainly being looked at by the global trading partners. The EU, the US, Japan, Korea, looking at us, would like to trade, would like to invest, would like to come here. We have to make this landscape more level, a more level field, that they can come in, they can invest, that they can make profit, that they can move out. We also benefit.
You know, for Cambodia, this ASEAN connectivity is so important, this ASEAN integration, because we're a small country.
Of course.
And 14 million, I mean, relative to Thailand, 70, almost 80 now, right? Vietnam, you know. And to me, being a small country, you know, if the barrier is high, it's very difficult to attract foreign direct investment. And that's why, for me, the way I see that next year as Cambodian chair, you know, of course, you have to go through the process. But the psychological dimension of as a Cambodian,
ASEAN, because ASEAN is such an important regional organization in the world. The World Bank would like us to help solve a lot of economic problems, financial problems, development problems among us, and transfer our experiences to countries in South Asia, the SAARC countries, the South Pacific countries, African countries. Because of such a tension, when Cambodia is in the chair, Cambodia will attract so much attention from around the world. They will come, they will look, they will investigate. Cambodia will have to be ready. With your investment law, with your foreign investment law, with your tax law. One thing that I've been saying to every member state, we have to speak the language of the market.
Indeed.
Meaning we don't object profit. If it is reasonable profit, if whatever business coming in, respect and maintain and sustain our environment, that the going to help bridge the income gap among our population, they are the engine of growth. They are spearheading modernity. So, you know, it is going to be a year of tremendous activity here, very busy for your leaders here, all the way up to His Majesty. Because leaders, ministers would come in, and the tradition of ASEAN is you have to pay a courtesy call on the head of state.
The head of state, to His Majesty.
I had an occasion to call upon His Majesty yesterday, and I begged in advance for his understanding that he will be troubled many times this year, and he was graciously understanding that he would do his part. So we are extremely grateful. The Prime Minister also knows the task, the challenges, and the potential and the opportunities that Cambodia will benefit from this year of chairmanship. The world will converge in Phnom Penh, in Siem Reap. All the cameras will focus on Cambodia, on Siem Reap, on Phnom Penh. So, the deadline, DATE line, all the reports of ASEAN will be Phnom Penh. The date, out to the world.
Speaking of challenge, as chair, what would be things that you consider as a challenge for us?
Well, certainly,
outcome that we could claim at the end that Cambodia has contributed to the strengthening, to the deepening, to the progress of ASEAN.
I think there is enough momentum.
Okay.
I think if Cambodia only take it up and sustain the momentum, and carried it through, next year would be Brunei. But there are already enough of many initiatives in the pipeline that reduction of tax, of non-tariff barriers, integration, connectivity, infrastructure, all these things are ongoing. And the partners will come in, want to be helpful, because if ASEAN can achieve its own integration, the 600 million will be one market, will be a strong market with high purchasing power, expanding middle class, rising purchasing power. They are helping us, but at the same time they are creating demand, creating the market for their own goods and for their own services. So Cambodia will have to sustain this momentum. And I have no doubt that the leadership of Cambodia, that the people of Cambodia, the media, the academic, the business community of Cambodia will be able to participate in this process, and certainly will take us to the finish line at the end of the year in flying colors.
I see that, for example, during Cambodian chair, we should be magnanimous in a sense. The region is doing very well. We get a lot of respect and attention, as you said, from many different regions of the world. International organizations are very keen to support. You think it would be a good idea that we should organize, a global dialogue, ASEAN global dialogue of global personality,
like Cambodia's global dialogue, like this one.
Where we make an ASEAN global dialogue.
I think there will be definitely there will be a global audience. I believe that the timing is at the end. The last summit in November. At the end of everything, these great personalities are going to come to Cambodia. And they will be more than willing to share their vision. World Bank, IMF, WTO, ADB. These are the global personalities that will have their unique views and perspectives on things. And they have been watching ASEAN in bewilderment. How you hang together, how you survive
despite
together.
Despite
all the challenges, all the problems around the world, in Europe, in North America. The markets have dried up, but somehow we have been able to create our own regional market with China, with India, with Japan, with Korea, among ourselves.
And also,
I think global dialogue,
for the G20, for example,
G20, we are part of the permanent feature. Chair of ASEAN will be invited. Last time, President Yudhoyono represent Indonesia and represent ASEAN at the same time in Cannes, France. Before that, it was in Seoul, Prime Minister of Vietnam. This coming year, 2012, His Excellency Samdech Hun Sen will represent ASEAN at the table of the big G20.
So this is great because really I see this ASEAN centrality, is really helping, us. As a small country,
it's happening before us.
Exactly. We are coming to the end of the program, but Doctor, what's your message? What's your last message that you want the Cambodian here? whether policymaker,
Yes.
whether academia,
No,
private sector.
I want to talk to the parents. I
Yes.
want to talk to the teachers. I
Yes.
want to talk to the students, the
Yes.
younger generation.
Yes.
ASEAN is being created not for your generation,
Yes.
not for my generation.
Yes.
I have said the same thing to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
This is for the good of the countries of ASEAN.
Yes.
600 million people and still growing.
Yes.
Parents will have to subscribe to this vision.
Yes.
That at one point in the near future, this
Yeah.
is going to be one market. The skilled labor going
Yeah.
to move.
Yeah.
Doctors from Cambodia can move into Malaysia.
Yeah.
Engineers from Singapore can move into Indonesia.
Yeah.
Nurses, dentists from the Philippines can move across the border.
Yes.
The only requirement is you have to be good.
Yes.
You have to be qualified.
Yeah.
You have to be competitive. The English language.
Yes. Okay.
Because in the charter,
Yes.
English is the working language
The
of
working
ASEAN.
language, yes.
We don't provide interpreters.
Yes.
Anybody who wants interpreter, bring them yourself from home.
Yeah, exactly.
And whisper.
You whisper, yeah. But
There's
we are-
no.
Yeah.
ASEAN conducts our business in the English
yeah,
language.
yeah.
If you don't know the English language,
Yeah.
no matter how good you are as engineers,
Yes.
as architects,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
nurses, as accountants,
Yeah.
you can't.
You can market the product.
Cannot market your skills.
Yeah.
You cannot perform your
You can
profession.
communicate. As simple as that.
So the parents will have to be inspired.
Yes.
That the vision at the
Okay.
end of
Yeah.
this process, life is going to be much, much more interesting,
Yes.
mobile,
Yeah.
moving across the
Yeah.
landscape, but the competition is
The
also going to
competition,
be
yeah,
fierce.
yeah.
So I'm appealing to the parents, to the
Yes.
teachers, universities, academic institutions, and the students themselves.
yeah.
Life is going to be different from
Yeah.
my generation.
Yes.
From now, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be mobile. It's going to require real quality.
Yes. So competition.
Yes.
Work hard.
Open competition.
Get ready.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Southeast Asia is going to be
Yes.
different.
Yes, yes.
From now,
Yes.
it's going to be way different from the past.
Yes.
It's going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
For every individual depends on how much
Yes.
you are prepared.
So another
For
word,
that.
opportunity is there, but you must be prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this preparation is a generational change.
Exactly.
Well, Doctor, it's such a pleasure. As always, 30 minutes is so short.
It's my pleasure,
But-
my honor.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you helped set the stage a bit in anticipation of in next Cambodia will be chairing, and this is important that the ASEAN for Cambodia should not be seen as a purely a diplomatic ASEAN. It should be seen as a people to people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it should be seen as an opportunity to grow
Yes.
economically. It's an opportunity to also enhance our competitiveness.
Exactly.
Because if you stay in your cocoon, you feel, well, I'm cool in my country.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. Why do I have to? Oh, wait a minute. I have to because the flow.
If you don't,
Yes.
others will come
Exactly.
and put you
Yeah.
in a very, very difficult situation. Better to prepare yourself
Yes.
and to fight
Yes.
and to struggle
Yes.
and to compete.
And to succeed.
To succeed.
And your life career is such an example. At 11, you just have your first pair of shoes,
At 11.
and look where you are right
And
now.
I had to bike
Yes.
downhill, uphill, 20 kilometers a day.
Well-
in the rain, in the dust.
And that's why you're physically strong. But the metaphor is great. The
Yes.
metaphor is great. So anyway, let me just formally say thank you for your time. I know
Thank
you
you
have to
very
run
much.
to catch the plane.
Thank you very
but,
much.
let me just say perhaps to the audience that the message I got from Dr. Surin Pitsuwan, the Secretary General of ASEAN, is very clear. That, you know, whether we know, we are aware, we care, ASEAN is coming. Already the two flags is up already. Cambodia flag, ASEAN flag, Thai flag, you know, ASEAN flag, Indonesia, ASEAN. So it's one community. But the trick is that to benefit from the community, we must be prepared. And that preparation, you know, have to start from the parent all the way down to prepare their children for the next generation of prosperity in the region. And I can say that next year, Cambodia Chairmanship, our Prime Minister, Samdech Techo Hun Sen, will have that opportunity to send a very strong policy message, you know, to the Cambodian, to the region, to the world, that Cambodia is ready to be a regional player, to be part of the global player. So on that note, I really want to thank the message that, Doctor, you have shared with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and happy holiday. Thank you. Good.